continuing to look into Brussels. A very interesting thing, as far as I'm concerned, came up when I was looking at the images of the attack on the train station, on the metro station. I saw a number of people standing around who were wearing yellow vests um, that didn't appear to be medical professionals, that appeared to be tending to um, the victims of whatever happened, or they were at least gathered around them while people in uniforms were standing back, it appeared. Um, and so I kept looking into them because it seemed very odd to me. And then one thing I noticed on one of the vests was it said Thon. To most people, that probably doesn't mean anything, but I spent a lot of time looking into the Oslo bombing, the Norway attack, and I found out a lot of stuff about what Thon is. Thon is It's a company owned by a billionaire who's the 198th richest person in the world, Olav Thon. His name's Olav Thon. He's a Norwegian Zionist. And so what I found when I was looking into the Norway attacks was it appeared as though a lot of the properties that were blown up in the Norway attacks were owned by Olav Thon. And not only that, there was a whole bunch of suspicious stuff going on regarding all of the properties that he owned. There seemed to be fictitious businesses in them. When you look into the restaurants didn't seem to have real reviews. There were these clothing stores where the windows were covered up when the explosions happened, and the clothing stores didn't seem active. And Olav Thon had been denied his request to tear down the buildings which exploded, and he was denied his request by the Cultural Heritage Committee in Oslo. I made a video on this. It was called Storgata 27, The Missing Link Stopping Development, the first one. So what I found when I looked further into Olav Thon and his involvement in the Norway false flag, or I feel his involvement, I could get sued by this guy, he's a multi-billionaire, probably has very good lawyers. What I found was it appeared to me as though he had commissioned a video that would direct attention away from him by making any conspiracy theorist looking into the event look nutty because he had been previously attacked by alleged conspiracy theorists. And it's hard to explain exactly what I mean here, but there's this video that appears on the scene a little bit more than a year before, and it was created by a YouTuber who has no other material and just uploaded the video. The YouTuber's name is Mr. Spyanian, and that translates to the spy. Okay, so the video was very bizarre, and it appeared to be just a cover that was commissioned by, I'm guessing, Olav Thon, to make anybody who looked into his involvement in the Norway attacks look like a total nutcase. So anyway, his buildings that he was denied to develop, that he considered old pieces of garbage that should be torn down, he got denied the permit, and then they go and explode. So anyway, I pointed out how this was extremely suspicious 4 years ago, in 2012, when I was exposing the Norway attack. Not too many people were actually looking into that one, but I think I did a really good job exposing it. I'll post a link to the video. And lo and behold, during this Belgium attack, we see people with Thon, that's his company name, who are gathered around the victims outside of the train station, the metro station. So I looked to see if he had any properties nearby, and it turns out, yes, he does. It turns out Olav Thon owns most of the block right next to the metro station. And the blasts take place, and he has his employees or people that he knows or whoever these people are that are identified as Thon gathered around everybody instead of medical professionals. Okay? So I looked a little bit more into Olav Thon today, just because it's a little too much of a coincidence going on here. And it turns out he is, like I said, he's a devout Zionist. He claims to be a Christian. However, he's seen in a lot of different he's got prizes and stuff. He gives gifts to Israel. He takes funding away from any schools that talk bad about Israel and other people. And it also turns out that he was one of the inspirations for the Mr. Burns character on The Simpsons. And the reason being because he did some really shady deals and tried to screw over a whole city. So this guy is, he's a major league shyster to the point where he inspired the Mr. Burns character. And to really understand his involvement in Norway, you should watch my video, Storgata 27, The Missing Link Stopping Development, that I uploaded 4 years ago under, I believe it was Utoya Crew. I had a few different usernames. Adrian Precon was one. Utoya Crew, Norway Research. And anyway, so check that video out. I basically proved that Olav Thon was involved with the Norway attacks. Well, I feel I did. And then during this attack, his people, once again, his property is right next to where this bomb goes off, where the explosions take place again. And and his connections to Israel, I just think it's too much of a coincidence, and it warrants further investigation. So anyway, here's some little chunks of this bizarre movie I know he had commissioned called Thunstruck.
10. Geographic location: middle of Norway, in a small community called Brønnøy in Samna. Every scene in this movie is supported by archive footage. Some of what you are going to see is extremely disturbing. In 2009, a man called the Mayor began nurturing relationships with the elusive Odin, a mythical figure that has been roaming Norway ever since the Vikings ruled. Evidence now shows this expense may even be mentioned in the Bible. Since this very intimate relationship started, money have flowed into the community. New gigantic buildings are being built, and no one knows why. Are the mayor and the old man planning to take over big parts of Norway? Or is the mayor and his rumored relations to farmers being used to fuel the hidden agenda of the shadowy Odin? Evidence even points out that Odin is making a private secret base in one of the buildings. Camouflage as a simple shopping mall, but with huge underground structures. Secret workers are being flown into the community, from where, no one knows, and the mayor is a member of a strange and bizarre grouping called Center Party. Greedy old-fashioned people that among its other activities is a strong force working against the free will of the people and is conducting mind control on animals and even people in the area. People have experienced strange dreams, waking up in the middle of the night with a hunger for animal fluids. There have been sightings of what we call farmers. There have even been people who say they have been abducted by tractors. We will now reveal the genuine photographic evidence for the Scartason incident, where a so-called tractor is rumored to have crashed 30 years ago. But the most compelling evidence of these farmer beings are among us is that there is a secret place in Brønnøysund where the most hideous activities have been going on. Rumors of camel mutilation, animal skeletons being found, with the flesh cut from the bone with laser precision. And then, this man. He is part of the same center party as the mayor and is also in close connections with the farmers. We have evidence of this man being taken into a tractor and then dropped from several meters into a field of crop, making a circle, making this the best evidence of close encounters of the fourth kind we have ever seen. This man can be our missing link, the hybrid, a very dangerous firstborn farmer politician species now believed to be bred all around this country. Along with this, we claim to have seen and filmed several tanker vehicles belonging to farmers. Yes, they do exist, chemtrailing big fields of agricultural land. Often in the nighttime, lights going up and down over the beautiful landscape is reported en masse. Medical reports show people throwing up and getting very sick from the stench of these activities. Even doctors say this must stop. What are the connections? What are really lurking in the fields of this community? No one knew. Before now. Thon struck. We will reveal the center party, the mayor, the old man, the fabled farmers, how they are all connected in the upcoming documentary Thon struck. Thon struck. The danger is obvious. When you invade a place for its resources, you will at some point have to wipe out the resident population. Right now, we are being colonized. It's time to fight back. May God help us all.
Okay, so this is extremely, extremely suspicious. Why? Multiple reasons. The production value. Extremely high production value. There was a lot of work that went into the creation of this particular video. There's a very high level of editing. There are a few intentional spelling errors to make it seem kind of foolish. However, all the footage that was gathered, it's in English, when Norwegian is obviously the language they speak in Norway. So it's to appeal to the larger global audience, just like a lot of the Anders Breivik stuff was, how Anders Breivik's whole manifesto is in English, etc. And this was well-placed, preemptive psyop propaganda by Thon, because he knew people were going to focus, or he had some idea that some people who were extremely skeptical of this event, of the Norway attacks, would dig into Olav Thon, realize his properties were papered up and most of the businesses were totally fake, and they would try to expose him, and then he could just point the finger at them and say they're conspiracy theorists, and all of it goes away, right? Oh yeah, these conspiracy theorists who've been harassing me for so long, they even made a video about me a couple of years ago. And then we have another explosion in a European capital, and it's right next to another property that Olav Thon owns. So, and he's a Zionist. So anyway, I just really find this very interesting, and I think this is a big indication that this Olav Thon character is one of the main elite characters involved in helping facilitate these false flag attacks in Europe. So anyway, check it out, guys. Have a good one.
How they are all connected in the upcoming documentary Thon struck. Thon struck. The danger is obvious. When you invade a place for its resources, you will at some point have to wipe out the resident population. Right now, we are being colonized. It's time to fight back. May God help us all.